Hello everybody, welcome to the Spencer Duncan channel. He's here today with his dad.
Hello
That's
everybody.
There he is behind the camera. We're just doing a little brief intro. We're going to be cooking a meal tonight, Italian shrimp, chicken Parmesan with my famous red sauce, the recipe from my grandfather, my nonno.
That's
Marino.
from San Marino, the country, right?
Right, exactly. Yep. So anyway, we're just getting started. I'm gonna just put on this little regular Italian, sweet Italian sausage. That's gonna end up going into the red sauce. In here, we'll make the red sauce over here. Chicken Parmesan. So we're gonna be sautéing the chicken there in a little while. Oh, I forgot the eggs.
Yeah, so?
No, I'll get an egg. I'll borrow one. Anyway, we're just getting started. We're going to do some chopping and some prepping, and then we'll come back and continue over here. Okay? So we'll see you in a few.
Go ahead.
Okay, we're back. In the Spencer Duncan channel in Uncle Greg's kitchen. We're sautéing some sweet Italian sausage. That's going to go into the red sauce. Right now, I have this big pot with olive oil covering the bottom, probably about 1/4 of an inch or a little bit less of oil. And I've chopped up some garlic and some parsley and some basil.
And that's a pound, handful of garlic in the...
It's a fist, it's a whole fist of garlic cut up. It's a big handful of basil and a bunch of Italian parsley, organic Italian parsley. I take this into my hot oil.
And then
I'm gonna turn the heat up a little bit. I keep the oil warm until I'm ready to put this in. I don't want it too hot to burn this concoction. So I turn the heat up a little bit, and we'll start to hear it sizzle here in a minute or two.
And guys, I wish you were here because it smells so good right now.
Yes, you're missing the smell, that's for sure. Then I take some dry oregano, and I put a whole bunch of that in here. Now see, I don't measure anything, so it's hard to say
It's alright,
how much, but you know, I can't really overdo it that much.
It looks like 3 cups.
No, not that much. I mean, this whole thing isn't even a cup. So I would say probably 3/4 of a cup of parsley, right? That's about right. Now I'm making a big pot. I'm going to end up putting this whole big can of tomatoes in there, and some tomato paste, and I have other tomatoes too to make sure I get a full pot of sauce. So right now this is bubbling very nicely. So it's sautéing this mixture, and I will. You can see that. Can you see that in the camera?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, so the olive oil is now mixed in with the parsley, the garlic, and the oregano, parsley and basil. And I'm going to put some crushed red pepper in there just for a little bit of heat. I like a lot, but a lot of people don't. So I just put, like a little bit to give it a little bit of spice.
It's their preference, right, Dad?
Well, I make it so that...
No, I mean on like heatness.
Yeah, sure. Some people like no heat, some people like a lot of heat, and in between, and a lot, somewhere in between. Everybody's different. Okay, so this sausage is about ready, and I'm just going to turn this way down on that, and let this saute a while. Oh, black pepper. I use my pepper mill here, and I put lots of black pepper into this mixture. So now I have olive oil, parsley, basil, oregano, black pepper.
Wish it could smell-o-vision.
It's smell-o-vision.
So that you guys could smell this. It smells really good.
You can imagine the garlic and the parsley and the basil all cooking right now.
Are you trying to
It's yummy. Yeah, that's sometimes.
Oh, hi.
We have sometimes our visiting cat. Come here, babe. Come here. You want some cream? Want some cream? Hey. Yeah. Yeah, this is sometimes. He doesn't like to be held. So, I'll get you some cream. Okay, here you go. This is our neighbor cat. We call him sometimes because that's when he comes. Sometimes. You never know. He might stay away for months or a week or whatever. Lately he's been coming around a little more often. I put a little bit of half and half in a bowl. And he drinks it and then he leaves. Usually. Okay, so we can pause this for a minute because we're going to go to our next step here in a second. Back again. Right. So we're continuing with our prep here. I've got this saute working for the red sauce, and I've got some chicken thighs here, chicken thigh meat, mixed in with some egg. And oh, this is not hot enough. So here's the chicken thigh with egg into the breadcrumbs and coat it with the breadcrumbs. You've done this before, right?
Yeah.
And then it goes into the olive oil.
I mean, not like this. I made meatballs with...
Yeah, same kind of thing, right? You're just coating it. The egg helps give it a little bit of flavor, of course, but it helps the breadcrumbs stick. Otherwise, it won't stick properly. Okay.
So, whoever is just joining, this is a family recipe from San Marino, and this is my dad's dad, grandfather.
This is my grandpa Nono, his recipe. Not for the chicken parmesan, but for the red sauce.
Right.
Yeah. So we're going to end up making chicken parmesan. So while the red sauce is being made, we're going to saute the chicken, and then eventually when the sauce is finished, the sauteed chicken will go onto a broiling dish, and then some red sauce will be put on it, and some mozzarella, some good Italian mozzarella cheese from Mona Lisa's Italian deli down in Little Italy.
You can't get better cheese than that.
No, man, you can't. Okay.
All right, stay tuned.
We'll be back. And we're back. Okay, so we got the chicken sauteing in the olive oil, the breaded chicken. Now I'm going to open up this big, giant can of Italian peeled tomatoes, and I'm going to put them into this concoction that's been sauteing in the big pot. Olive oil, parsley, garlic, oregano, basil, black pepper. Okay, so I'm going to pour off or ladle off some of the tomato puree, because I'll be chopping up the whole peeled tomatoes that are in here. I want to give myself some room to do that. So I'm going to just first ladle off the tomato puree that the tomatoes are in. Then I'm going to grab my little chopping tool, electric chopping tool, so I don't have to do all this by hand. And I'll just cut up these tomatoes in the can. And then I'll pour the whole cut up concoction into the sauteing, into the pot with the sauteing stuff. Okay. So that's enough. Now I'll take my electric chopper device, which looks like this. It's a little handheld chopper. It's got a little blade that spins at the bottom. Just plug this in, and then hold it like so, and Dave's gonna put it in here and just move it around. It's gonna chop up all of those peeled tomatoes in the can. A real labor saver.
And you want, after it's done, what do you do with it, Dad?
I'm going to pour it into the big pot. Okay? Like so. Pour it without spilling it. Ugh. There's still some chunks. I can just get those with a knife. Okay.
So that's what it looks like when he added the tomato, canned tomatoes.
Yes, those are peeled Italian tomatoes. I'm just turning over my chicken so the other side gets sauteed very nicely.
So you marinate the tomatoes in the sauce right now?
Yes. So the tomatoes went into that mixture of the oregano, garlic, olive oil, black pepper, red pepper, basil, parsley. Okay. So the tomatoes went in there. I'm going to add some more tomatoes and some tomato paste, and at this point we can put in the sweet Italian sausage that we sauteed, and that's going to give it some nice flavor. Okay, mix that up a little bit. Now I'm going to put in some tomato paste as well, and then I meant to get more tomatoes, canned tomatoes, and I hope I still have them, because the sauce needs more. I need to build up more volume. I meant to get some and I forgot. And I don't. Well, oh wait, did I get? I thought I got some in the store. I did get them in the store. What happened to them? Wait a minute. I went to Sprouts and I had them. Did I leave the store without them? Maybe. Maybe. Well, I have a can here, which I'll put in. And I have the paste, so I planned on making a bigger pot of sauce. Maybe I'm not sure. So we're going to pause. Actually, let me do this. I have a can of diced tomatoes. I'll add that as well. And I have a can of
Okay.
Yeah. I have a large can of tomato paste that I'm going to put in as well to give it some more tomato, of course. Plus, it'll thicken up the sauce a bit. All right. Like so. Okay, this will go in, and we'll this is continue. We're going to continue heating this sauce. It'll get, you know, like over a medium heat. It'll start bubbling, and all those flavors
are gonna come together.
Yep, they're all gonna meld together to give us that wonderful, wonderful Italian red sauce. Okay. All right. So we can pause. We can pause there. I'm gonna take this chicken out.
Go ahead.
All right. So we have the tomatoes put into the pot with the rest of the oil and herbs and so forth. And what I'm going to do here, I like to add a little red wine, just some cheap red wine, and I actually put it into a can so that I swirl it around and I pick up all that tomato sauce or juice that didn't come out earlier. I pour that into the other can and swirl it around. Okay, so we had some nice red wine. It adds a really nice flavor to the sauce. Okay, we've got our chicken out here that we sauteed. So this will be ready when we need it in a little while. Okay, so we can take this, put it off to the side, get it out of the way.
And if you're cooking on a stove or the oven, make sure to have oven mitts.
Yes, and you don't burn
or sharp objects. Make sure to be careful.
Always be safe around the stove. Yes, I like to add a little bit more black pepper.
So,
and some little more oregano as it's cooking. And okay, we're gonna let this cook for a while.
How many people do you think this will feed?
Well, I make a big pot and then I put once it cools down, after we have the first meal from it, once it cools down, I put in small containers and freeze it. So I have like portions. So, you know, if I wanted to feed a group of people on this, you know, probably
9 servings.
8 to 10 servings.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Yeah, sure. So we can pause there and let the sauce cook a little bit longer and clean up some dishes right now, and then we'll be back.
1.
Hello again. We're now putting in the chopped up zucchini or Italian squash into the sauce. So along with the other ingredients that we had started with, we now have of course the sausage is in there, and now we're going to stir in the zucchini. So that's going to take on the flavor of the sauce, of course, and it's going to cook and soften a bit, so that it will give it a kind of a meat-like texture, a vegetable meat-like texture. Okay. All right. So now we just kind of sit and let that cook together. Ideally, we would have wanted to, because we got kind of started kind of late. Ideally, we would want to have the sauce kind of further along, so that when the chicken is done, we can just put it into the broiler pan and put the sauce on it and the cheese and broil it and make some pasta and have a meal. But now we're delayed because we're waiting for the sauce to cook. So that's fine. We have other things we can do in the meantime. do a little cleanup and so forth. And that's it. We'll be back in a little while. Okay, we're back once again with our marathon meal. So the sauce is cooked. It's ready to go. So next step is to take some of it and put it into this pan, this glass Pyrex dish. Put some like so in the bottom. Okay. And then we're going to put some of our chicken on it, in it. Okay, and then we're going to put a little more sauce on top of the chicken and some cheese, and then we're going to broil it. Oh, let me turn on the broiler so it's nice and toasty, ready to go.
And you said for 350, right?
I'm going to broil it. I'm going to start at 500. I want it to be pretty hot so it melts the cheese. That's really just to melt the cheese and to toast it a little bit, because the rest is it's already cooked, you know. Okay, so I'm going to put all but 3 pieces in here. Okay, so there's the chicken with the sauce, and then I get my cheese over here. I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah, I can. You're in frame, Dad.
Okay, so I'm just going to lay out the cheese, and I'll show you before I put it in. I'm going to lay the cheese onto the top of the chicken. All right, this is the good mozzarella in water cheese that I get at Mona Lisa's.
Mozzarella.
Mozzarella. Or if you come from California, it's mozzarella. Mozzarella instead of mozzarella. Okay.
They dropped the L?
They just they make it sound like real hard. Mozzarella instead of rolling the L's and the R's. Mozzarella. Okay. So here is the chicken with the mozzarella on top. I'm gonna put a little bit of oregano, and then a little more red sauce on the top. Okay, like so. Put in the broiler for not long, 5 minutes maybe. And this will be ready to go. And then, I'll do this first. This is going into the broiler. Move this out of the way. Okay. And, okay. Now we have our water boiling. I have water with a little olive oil and salt. Okay. And then I'm going to put the pasta. I like angel hair pasta from Italy. We're very authentic around here. We use authentic Italian and organic, whenever possible, foods. Okay, so I'm going to take about half of this bag, put it into the boiling water, spread it out a bit, a little bit more in case we're hungry, put the rest away, and I use my wood fork to stir it into the water. This cooks pretty fast. This will probably cook in 5 or 6 minutes. Okay, stir this until the pasta is submerged, so it all cooks evenly. Okay, good. So that's good. I'm going to take the rest of my chicken and put it into another dish and put it into the refrigerator along with the spare cheese. Okay, so we got the pasta cooking, we got the chicken Parmesan in the broiler, melting the cheese. We're going to cover this, and I can turn off the heat on the sauce and just leave it on the hot stove, and those flavors will continue to meld together to create that magical, only available here at Greg's Kitchen flavor. Okay, so we can pause there, and when we're ready to eat the Parmesan, we can show the final video of that. Okay. Okay, this should be the last in the series. So the pasta has been cooking and is ready. So I'm going to take this. Do you want to just turn it, pan over this way? You can hold it. Just hold it.
I got it.
Okay. So I have my colander here. So I'm just pouring pasta into that. And I'm going to shake it down a little bit. Squeeze all the water out of it. And put it back into the pot. Into the pot. And that. Bring it back over here to the stove where I put some sauce in here. It's all right, leave it. Put some sauce in with the pasta. Mix it up so with a nice coating of red sauce. This helps keep the pasta from sticking to itself. I cook my pasta al dente, which is basically so it's still a little bit firm. I don't like it real soft, mushy. So I cook it so it's just cooked or slightly undercooked, because the pasta actually keeps cooking because it's so hot. Of course, you can see all the steam. It's so hot it actually will continue to cook. So I advise people to undercook their pasta, and then by the time it's done and ready to eat, it'll be cooked just right. Okay, so make sure everything is off now, and I'm going to take the Parmesan out of the broiler, and it looks amazing and smells even better. Look at this baby. Ooh, look at that. See how that's nice and crispy on the top. Baby. So I'm going to take a dish and a spatula and dish out some of this amazing stuff. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Baby. Look at that cheese, man. Okay. Right there. Put a little bit of pasta with it on the side. It's got to come out a little further. I can raise it up. This is in frame?
Yeah.
Okay. A little pasta with it. Like so. Okay. And then we finish it off with some more red sauce with the zucchini. Okay, on top, like so. And there we have Uncle Greg's chicken Parmesan. Put a little bit on the chicken as well. We have a nice dish ready to go.
Bon appetit, everyone.
Bon appetit.